Hey there, and welcome to a chatty little draw with me video. In this particular one, I'm creating another character design sheet for a commission I got from a regular client and friend of mine. Please let me know what you're working on if you decide to join me and draw something yourself, and let's get right into it. This is an alternative design for an existing character, and I think it's the first time I've done this kind of commission. Usually the characters I designed are completely my creation and not based on any pre-existing artworks, at least not artworks another person created. This time, however, it's different. The design you see is the off version of the character's existing on mode. In her on mode, the character is very particular about her appearance, but at home she crashes out, as the client put it. And that's the mode I had the honor of designing. If I'm being honest, creating an alternative version of the same character based on another artist's work was more intimidating than I thought it would be in the beginning. The client is super happy with the final result and obviously wanted to commission me for my own style and all, but y'all, I struggled so hard with making the design feel like the same character. I think a big reason for that is that, despite what people think, my art is not exactly anime anymore. So just the face shape or size of her eyes weren't something I could basically take from the reference image, because that would make her look like an alien. But I still had to stay close enough to the character's original design so that they'd be recognizable. Finding that balance is even harder than finding the balance between, say, realism and stylization to get to my own personal style, for example. And somehow I also struggled more than when I, for example, draw fan art of an existing manga or, like real actors or whatever the hell else I might be drawing. However, I still had lots of fun trying to find my own version of a round face that was semi-realistic enough to fit my style, while also reflecting the original anime style design. Interestingly enough, I have done my fair share of, anime fan art in my day, and not just years ago, also like recently, like a few months ago I did Windbreaker fan art, stuff like that. And I do study manga styles regularly, or try to interpret their style in my own style or something. But this time it was so much harder. Obviously this is a commission, so there's a certain pressure that comes with it, even though this is a super chill client and all. And maybe it's because the styles I usually draw are still closer to my own style. Like, for example, the Kane series or Yuki Kamatami's artworks. But yeah, anyways, I did struggle more with translating the existing character into my own style in another design than I expected I would. What really helped me was to focus more on the feeling of the character and the drawing in general, and that the vibes were similar enough than the hard facts like, the eye shape or something. Another thing that made this particular design interesting is that it is the same character, but with literally the opposite vibes to their more common on mode. I kept elements like the overall colors, even for the clothes, which are easier to change than the hair, for example, like for the character herself, and the fringe of her hair, while changing other elements like the clips that keep the middle part of her hair out of her face, while she's crashing out at home. Something that helped me with my research and inspiration here was that I decided to reread the manga series Switch Girl, which ran from 2006 to 2014. The premise is pretty much the same situation the character I'm drawing is in. The protagonist in the manga is a classic fashionista. I think she counts as a gyaru. I'm not 100% sure on the characteristics of a gyaru, to be honest. But yeah, at school she's like the girly pretty girl, but at home she literally looks like a different character, like even art style wise. I didn't want to go that far with my character alternative for the character design sheet, but it sure was a nice source of inspiration. And the protagonist's vibes were immaculate so far. That being said, I'm not sure if I would recommend the manga. As I said, it started in 2006, and some of the scenes in the manga aged badly, or really shouldn't have been treated as normal to begin with. I've reread volume 1 and 2 so far, and obviously things like character flaws have to exist in the beginning for the characters to overcome them over the course of the story, and they can be very negative attributes. But y'all, the second male lead literally got introduced into the story by trying to blackmail the protagonist to sleep with him. There are also way too many SA jokes, and SA treated as a central plot point in the current arc. And I mean, it is technically treated as something bad, but at the same time, not seriously enough for me at all. I don't know, man, that whole part made me feel super icky. I'm gonna read more volumes first, but this kind of thing is a big no for me, so I might resell the manga series if they don't stop those very inappropriate jokes very soon. And it's very interesting, on the other hand, to see what was treated as normal like 10 or like more than 10 years ago versus what shoujo romances are like today. I don't know. Because on the one hand, you have these kind of things, but at the same time, there are so many things I really like about the series. Especially the whole concept of the on and off modes and just how comfortable the protagonist is in her own skin and with the people she's close to. Like, that is such a cool thing to see. Yes, it is part of the story that she feels a lot of pressure to conform to the quote-unquote perfect female gender performance. And if I remember correctly, a big part is her learning that there are more people than her immediate family and childhood friend she can show her messier side to, but still. It feels so refreshing to see a shoujo protagonist as messy as she is, instead of your classy girly girl or maybe a tomboy if you're lucky. Not that there's anything wrong with those kind of characters, but, you know, seeing a messy girl is super refreshing. Though I have to admit I haven't read that many typical high school romance shoujos, so this kind of protagonist might be more common than I realized as well. Another thing I like about the whole on and off thing is that it also reminds me of my own life sometimes, which makes the good comedic scenes in Switch Girl even better. Like, sorry, I get home and my bra is gone. Actually, I don't even wear anything but sports bras and similar things anymore. Because, let's face it, no one but me is going to see my underwear anyways, and all I care about is comfort. Also, for me, my on and off modes, so to say, are more about how much of my personality I want to show on that particular day, and how lazy I am that day, but let's forget about that for a second. Like, for my customer service part-time job, I didn't put on any makeup, just grabbed a random pair of pants and my uniform t-shirt and rolled out of the door. On the days I'm off, on which I leave the house, even if I'm just running some random errands, I love putting on some messy eyeliner and bright red lipstick, much jewelry and all that stuff too. I think you can describe my personal style as a casual version of punk outfits with goth elements, but honestly, I just wear whatever I like as long, as I like it. I also don't feel like that much of a different person in my sweats versus my punk-esque jeans, but there have been many times my coworkers were very surprised the first time they saw me in my random everyday outfits. It's incredible to see the effect different outfits can have on people. And I think that's kind of one of the big reasons I love character design so much. I mean, obviously, you as the artist can create different vibes with different face shapes and body shapes and stuff like that, but to me, the most interesting part are the things the character can technically change about themselves. Outfits, patterns, jewelry, how damaged or wrinkly the fabric is it the correct size or maybe oversized, or, just secondhand in general. All these are things that the character has an influence on, so they say so much about the personality and circumstances. With this character in particular, I wanted to go with non-damaged clothes, but oversized, fluffy, and overall comfortable fabric. Non-restrictive, but still covering enough skin, with no unnecessary knickknacks. The details and carefully chosen garments belong to the on mode, which, by the way, I would love to design some alternative outfits for. Just putting that out there. But I think that's it for now. Please share what you were working on if you decided to draw alongside me, and regardless of if you did, thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next video, and for now, bye bye!